I've got a great story about my costume today. Equestrian theme party, right? I tried to put on my wife's size 6 Wellington boots. I can't feel my legs, of course, so I'm stamping my foot into this boot. Could I get the thing off? Could I love no money? I had to cut off my wife's Wellington boots.
Oh.
As you probably have found out by now. And I haven't checked my phone, but I don't think she's going to be happy.
It's a boot thing, right? Like, shoes are the most difficult thing to find, right? And I had searched for years to find. I wanted a pair of long boots, but exactly the same. I'd got home from work, they'd been delivered. I put them on. Then I went to get them off, and I literally had to call my friend. I was like, are you in? And she's like, yeah, I'm in. And I just rocked up at her front door, pressed the doorbell. I was like, I need you to take my shoe off me. Yeah.
My taxi driver helped me put my shoe on, which wasn't very dignified. It was out there, right before I came in. I'm, oh, no.
I think for us, difference is a reality, and actually it is quite comical sometimes, some of the situations we find ourselves in.
Sometimes I go to my girlfriend and give her something, and I think it's like a right colour, but it isn't. I thought this was like grey, but it's red apparently. Bought these pair of boxers, thinking, yes, I've got like orange boxers, and she goes, no, they're pink. So then I have to go and take them back.
Life on the ranch, eh?
What, in case they don't go with the rest of your outfit?
You know, it's part and parcel of having a disability. You know, you just take the mickey out of each other.
I was sitting at a dinner table, and this woman came across us, leaned across and said, "You look like Ed Sheeran."
I get that, I can see that as well.
I can't see it.
It's the shape of his head.
No, I'm not seeing
What?
that.
Because he's round?
Round.
Sorry, that's a broad statement.
Maybe it would help me if you could sing a bit of Ed, just so I can visualise it better.
If he's going to sing, just please don't sing "When your legs don't work like they used to before."
The good old days.
We've absolutely picked up from where we left off last night, and I think it's just going to build through the week, hopefully. We're all looking out for each other, also taking the mick out of each other a bit, and just having a really nice time.
So I've done some pretty bad stinkers during the coverage of the London Paralympic Games, actually. It was some dressage rider that had just won a gold or a silver and a back ref, and their name, I think, was Pepio Puke or something.
Yep, Austria.
And I go, fantastic result there from Peppa Pig, but join us after the break. Seriously.
To be fair, in swimming, if it goes wrong, you generally drown, so thankfully not.
That's a fair point.
I did score in the wrong basket, which was really embarrassing. I was on a free throw line-up and I went in, got the rebound, all proud of myself. Scored. I was like, they can't stop me, because they weren't trying to, because it was their basket. And I didn't even realise when I was going back to defence, which was actually offence. Like, Dad, did you see? Didn't even realise. That's pretty bad. That's probably my lowest moment. It's kind of one of the main rules of basketball is, you have one basket you remember that's yours. To not remember that, really?
Oh, Tiger.
Do any of you have any pre-competition rituals or anything weird that you do, like, before you compete?
If I'm in a shower, it's weird. It's like this ritual I always do. I walk in and out of it 10 times.
10?
I know, yeah.
How did that start?
I don't know, I think because I did well at a competition, and it's just stuck ever since.
10 times? Yeah, but go for 4.
No,
10 is a lot.
No, that's it, yeah.
Walking in and out of the shower 10 times, that's probably the weirdest thing I've heard.
If Chris doesn't win, we now know that this is a result. He probably only got in and out of the shower 9 times.
Everyone has their own rituals. It's just something I do.
When I was like 10, whatever day my 100 breaststroke was on, which was my main event, I'd wear this one pair of pants, and I honestly kept them until they were literally falling apart. My mum was like, you really have to get a new pair.
It's, a big commitment to dedicate one pair of underwear to being lucky. When do you whip them out? Is it for the quarter-final to get to the semi? Save it for the semi? For the final?
Decisions. Success with the main. Arthur's keen to hear Chris's experience at the last Paralympics, where he lost the bronze medal contest in the final minute.
So where did you come then in Rio, Chris?
So in judo you have gold, silver, and 2 bronzes. I came just outside the bronzes.
What happened then, Chris?
Guy was just better. I think that hurts me the most. Being so close. Just feel a bit of a fading. Because I lost quite a lot. When you lose something, like you lose your job and your career, and you work so hard for it, like, you know, like one of them sweets, like dangling there, you want to grab it, but someone just keeps pulling it away. That was kind of the last goal, so that hurt me.
For a brief moment, you could see that, yeah, he's a joker, but let's not forget, this is a guy that takes his sport extremely seriously.
What are you looking forward to most about Tokyo?
Retribution. redemption.
I'd say I'm a bigger athlete now than I was when I stepped onto the mountain in Rio.
What I really realised was the burden he's been carrying since Rio. But I think by opening up now, hopefully that's just got it off his chest a bit more, and now he can focus on Tokyo and enjoying the journey and hopefully winning a medal as he wants there. Just enjoy the opportunity to be brilliant because, well, if anything else fails, you can set up a restaurant.
No, I don't think I'm going to do that either. I don't want to cook.
So I think Chris's experience in Rio will definitely spur him on to go all guns blazing in Tokyo.
How much he hated losing and how much it really hurt him only means he's just going to be bigger and badder and better in Tokyo.
When you acquire a disability, sport is something that people in hospitals and those that help rehabilitate say go for it because it helps occupy the mind, keeps you physically fit and healthy. I got involved with wheelchair racing to begin with. And I trained alongside the likes of Mickey Bushell and Dave Weir. I was so arrogant, I went to the track. I was going at it like crazy, and I think they lapped me about 3 times before I'd even got round once. And it was from that point forward that I discovered a real admiration and respect for them, and I think that's why I decided to work in Paralympic sport.
So why the aviation theme? Did you just want to wear that massive moustache?
I just love flying. Honestly, I've been obsessed with it since I was a baby. I think it's fair to say that people with disabilities feel sort of the constraints of earthly bounds more than most. Flying offers me a sense of freedom that you can't find down here on Earth. When I put an aeroplane on and go flying, I'm able to do with that aeroplane exactly the same thing as the next able-bodied man next to me, and that is huge for me.
Turned off for feeling like flying's an escape because that's what my judo is to me.
I get on a horse as my freedom, so I totally understand where Arthur is coming from with that.
One thing I love about the Paralympics and the whole Paralympic movement is that we see athletes, you guys, who are doing, like, the best of the best in terms of disability sport. And I think that the public have sort of perception that everybody with a disability accepts it and thrives upon it. And it's just, for me personally, it's absolutely not true. So I've been in a wheelchair for 12 years, and pretty much every single one of those days, I've really, really struggled. I have never accepted that, and I find it really, really difficult, really hard to be in every day.
I'm always very grateful that I don't know what I'm missing, right? Or I don't know. I can do everything that everyone else can do.
Because you were born with it.
Because I was born like this. Because I'm not missing anything. I've got nothing to compare it to.
I always compare myself to what I used to be able to do, as opposed to comparing myself to what somebody in a wheelchair probably does really well to do in the first place.
I don't remember what I was like able-bodied, so I don't remember being able to run or do any of that stuff. And so I don't mourn being able to do that. You know, I know that it takes me longer to do things, and so I just accept that.
So I was like 12, 13 when I had cancer and lost my leg. And at that point, because I'd first come back into school, and I hadn't seen people for about a year. And I was bald, and I had braces and glasses, and I was in this massive chair, and I couldn't fit into any of the classrooms. So
You were a catch.
I don't know how I wasn't snapped right up. Like, yeah. It was when I got into basketball, I just saw people who had way worse than me. I've only lost one leg. Like 3 out of 4 limbs are there.
I felt comfortable enough amongst the guys to open up to them to say that in the 12 years I've been in a wheelchair, I've not accepted it, still don't to this day. And it was good to hear all of their perspectives about how they view it as well.